beautiful people. So this video might be a little early. I know that prom is normally like May, April-ish time, but a lot of people recently have been asking me to make a video about this, about prom and stuff. And so I was like, why not just make it now so that people can have it to think about, like this video to think about, and then when it comes, they'll know like, okay, I think I want to go or I think I don't want to go. So I thought, why not just make it now because of that. So I want to just talk about prom today. I'm not just going to be doing a should Christians go to prom video, because I know a lot of Christians approach different topics that way because we all want an easy yes or no answer. We want it to be black and white, but this is one of those things, you know, it's not in the Bible about whether or not we should go to prom. So you kind of have to figure out between you and God, is this something I feel that I should do between you and him? So I want you to think about it for yourself. Should I go to prom? Should I not go to prom? I'm going to just be talking about my thoughts on it and about how I did go to prom when I was in high school. So I hope that this kind of just conversation between you and me is not like a preaching type of thing, but more like a conversation just between us, as if you were a little sister of mine or something. So yeah. All right, getting into the actual video now. So I graduated high school in 2014, and over those 4 years when I was there, we had a ton of opportunities to go to dances. So it was like fall, every fall we had homecoming, every spring we had vice versa, which is where the girl asked the guy to the dance. And then my junior year and senior year, we could go to prom, which was like exclusively for juniors and seniors. So yeah, over those 4 years, I had a lot of chances to go to these dances. I think there was 10 total that I could have gone to when I was in high school. I think I went to all of them except for maybe 2. So I kind of just want to talk about why I went and yeah, just my intentions behind going, because I know some Christians have the conviction that they, you know, shouldn't go to prom specifically, or maybe homecoming, whatever it's called in at your high school, whatever. I know a lot of people have convictions against that. So I kind of want to talk about why I went and what went on when I was there. So I usually went with a guy, a guy friend, or if I was dating someone at the time, I went with my boyfriend. And so we would go together, and then if I didn't get a date, I would go with a group of girlfriends, which was really fun actually. And if this is just a side note that I think is super important to say, if you don't get asked to a dance and you think that there's something wrong with you for that, there's nothing wrong with you. And actually, it's really fun to go with a group of girlfriends. Like I went, I know for sure my senior year prom, it was super fun. Like I had a really good time. And so if you don't get asked to a dance, like there's nothing wrong with you, don't think that. I didn't always get asked either. So just a side note, that's super important side note. So yeah, side note done. I'll actually see if I can throw in a little montage right here of my high school dances really fast for you.
I hope you had the time of your life.
So there you have it. Yeah, I did go. I did have a lot of fun. We were there. Those like pictures bring back some good memories with my friends and everything. We just had a really good time going. But I will say this, I had certain boundaries set up in place for me and like whoever I was going with, whether it was my guy friends or my group of girlfriends, I had like certain boundaries put into place before we went, just because of the convictions that I have as a Christian. I didn't want to like get there or even at the after party and make decisions that I knew that God would not want me to make, or that weren't like wise for me to make decisions to make. So I'll talk about those too. So for example, and this is, I feel awkward talking about this, but there was this thing that we called at my high school grinding. And I don't know if that's a universal term for like everywhere around the world, or if it was just in my area, like in high school where I grew up. But everyone did what was called grinding. A lot of people did grinding. And it was just basically just something that I felt that was not something that as a Christian, like I should be doing. It just felt like too much of, or it felt too close to something that I told God that I would save for my husband for when I'm married, you know? And so I never did that. And going into the dances, every dance, you know, I knew for myself I wasn't gonna do it, and I knew, like I told my date in advance, I'm not gonna be doing that, and he was okay with that every time. If that person hadn't been okay with it, I probably wouldn't have gone with them, you know what I mean? So that was set in place before I went, just because I did not want to fall into that temptation to do what everyone else was kind of doing there, you know? Another thing I had always like planned in advance, and this is not just for dances, but a lot of times like after dances people go out and party and stuff, and like just in general between me and God, I always said like I wouldn't party, I wouldn't go to that kind of place, just because it was way too tempting to do stuff that not only was illegal but that I just felt very convicted against doing. And so for the after parties, I would always have something planned for us to do, like go to a friend's house to watch a movie, or I don't know, just go hang out and talk and have stacks and whatnot. Like it sounds boring, but it's actually really fun if you have a group of fun people. And so that was always fun afterwards, you know, because a lot of people, yeah, did go and do stuff and party and whatnot, and like I'm not judging anyone for doing that kind of stuff, but for me that's just not something that I wanted to do, to take part in it, so I didn't. But it could be easy to do if you don't have it plan out in advance, like in your head and between you and God, that you weren't going to. So I had kind of written down like, I will not do this, I will not do this. And I kind of, I don't know, I made sure that I had it written down and had it between me and God in advance so that when it came down to it, that I wouldn't fall into that. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's just, I'm trying to process this out loud, I guess. So yeah, I mean, it was just a fun night with friends. It was nothing that, looking back, I see myself having these impure motives and bad intentions with guys and whatnot. Like, I had certain things set in place so that I wouldn't be tempted to go, you know, and do things that I didn't want to do and that God wouldn't want me to do, whatever. But I'll say this, even though I went and I, you know, felt like it was okay to go, it might not be the same for you. You might feel convicted against going because maybe you don't have a group of good Christian friends who will, you know, hold you accountable, who will push you to do good rather than bad, whatever. You might not have that group of friends to hang out with afterwards or during the dance, whatnot. So don't feel like just because I went that you have to too. I think that's something between you and God that you kind of have to figure out for yourself. So there you have it, my perspective on prom. I hope that this encouraged you to not just think about things like legalistically where it's always yes or no or, you know, right or wrong, whatever. I hope that it's encouraged you to take things that aren't in the Bible and talk to God about it. Talk to people in your life who maybe have been in that situation before, what they did about it, and then kind of take some time to step back, think about, pray about if this is something that you should do or not. You know, not just about prom, but about a lot of other things too. Because we face a lot of different things now that were not even, not real, but things that weren't around during the Bible times are here now that we have to deal with. And so I hope that this encourages you to take time to think about that stuff between you and God. And I also hope, and this is a big hope, that the Christians watching this who completely disagree with my decision to go, I pray and beg you, please be kind in the comments, not only to myself, but to the other people who may agree with me. You know, because I have seen in my time as a YouTuber some of the cruelest comments that I can get, and that are replies to other Christians in the comments, have been some of the cruelest ones that I've ever seen. Not even the people who hate Jesus and hate everything about religion and whatnot. They are not always the meanest. The people that I've seen who can be the cruelest are the people who claim to be Christ followers. So with that in mind, please be kind to not only myself, but the other people in the comments as well. We should be the ones quickest to give love and to give grace rather than to condemn. So please keep that in mind, not only for this video, but for all videos in the future, not only on my channel, but all across the board, okay? Because when it comes down to it, honestly, we are on the same team. So let's love like it. Have a great day and know that you are so loved and so beautiful.